All right, guys, welcome to version 2 strategies and myths around how to drop 30 pounds in 90 days. So, if you've watched version 1, please do keep watching. This has a lot more detail and more valuable information. And if you need a reason to watch version 2, then just know that there's been many people that have DM'd me about version 1 and implementing strategies in there, and they've dropped 8 to 10 kilos just by watching the video and implementing, going away with the information. So, please do keep watching. And I'm going to run through how you can actually drop the weight, drop the 30 pounds in 90 days without restrictive dieting or endless cardio, and actually keep it off, even if you failed before. So let's get into it. This is the system I used to actually help the guys that I coach and help the people that I know actually drop hundreds of kilos to melt belly fat and love handles and actually gain muscle. So I also use this myself. This is battle tested. This is actually what I do every day. And this is the life I live to maintain my physique and actually have energy consistently throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the years. So let's get into it. Right, who is this for? So if you're constantly losing weight and actually just putting it back on, I'm going to actually break down why that's happening and how you can actually lose the weight for good this time. If you're always guessing what foods to eat or what exercises to do and you need some structure, routine, we're going to break down exactly how that works and what you can expect from the whole process. So if you want to be able to fit exercise and nutrition around a busy schedule, if you just don't have time, then we're going to go through that as well. So if you want to lose the stubborn belly fat, love handles, and build muscle so you can actually fit in the clothes you like and fill out your sleeves and actually look good in the clothes that you like, so you don't have to hide away in photos and actually be proud of being in photos with your family, friends, and cherish those moments for forever. Really, that's what we really want to do in the end. So if you want to take your shirt off when you go to the pool and actually be confident in how you look, go to the beach, go to the pool, and have that physique that you're really proud of, then this is for you. So keep watching. So if you're tired of having to suck in your stomach and just hide the belly rolls whilst feeling out of breath all of the time, because this personally was a situation I was in. I was in this actual up and down situation where I was fat when I actually had a lot of excess weight, and I was struggling with it for years. So this is genuinely to help you as much as possible and give you as much value as possible, because these are all problems I actually had personally. And if you're tired of having low energy and self-confidence, then this is for you. So if you obviously don't want to be constantly unhappy with how your stomach looks and you actually want to inspire others and provide value to everyone else with all the information armed in your tool belt, then this is for you. So if you want your pre-COVID body back and feel like how you used to, if this is something that has been something that you've been wanting to do for a while because you've just let yourself go during that period of time, the pandemic, when everyone did actually just have a period of time where they let themselves go, then this is for you, because we're going to teach you how to exactly bounce back from this whole situation. So if you have been prioritizing other areas of your life like business, travel, work for too long and neglecting your health and dream body goals, then this is for you, because this is actually, I'm going to teach you why this is the most important thing in your life and how this affects everything else as well. So who is this not for? If you feel like you know everything and you've got this all figured out, then this isn't for you. You need an open mind. And if you're not really willing to get uncomfortable and do the work, I've made this as easy as possible in terms of the strategies that you can implement. And the whole coaching side of my thing is as easy to implement as possible, because that's what works. That's what I found works for the long term, and that's what's sustainable. Because if you're in denial about the negative impacts of your lifestyle on your health, then this isn't for you, because you need to understand they're all related. If you don't understand that this is something that affects every single area of your life, then it's easy to get stuck in that mindset of telling yourself that this is something that you can't do. Because if you are small-minded and stuck in your ways, then this isn't for you, because this is if you actually want to lose the belly fat and the stubborn belly fat in the areas that have been difficult to get off in the past. So if you value money and material possessions over your own health, then this is not for you. Because the thing is, I can give you every strategy, every myth that you have been presented with, but you need to be able to implement it. But so far, I'm going to tell you, it's not been your fault. there's been so much misinformation. I'm going to go through it as well on what is actually true and what's not true. I'm here to actually give you the direct advice and guidance on exactly what works and how you can actually change your life with all of this. So, if you want to create the lifestyle of your dreams without sacrificing your health or appearance, basically, this is I'm going to basically give you all the tools, because you can spend a lot, if you are already in the gym, if you are already training, if you are doing exercise, you can spend a lot less time in the gym, not do exercise at all, and still look amazing. But it's up to you, of course. Like, if you want to do exercise, you can 100% do exercise. And but I'm going to teach you why it might not be essential. So, how you can stop relying on programs and trainers and get your degree in training and nutrition once and for all. So I genuinely don't believe that you should be paying for programs, paying for coaches for the rest of your life. This is just not how it works. If you really learn how to do it and how to do it forever, then you shouldn't be paying for service or anything for the rest of your life. These repeat subscriptions, this and this, everything out there, I don't understand why it's there. If someone was really teaching you how to do something and how to do it properly, then you shouldn't need them ever again. So let's get into it. So this is everything you, let me just move myself out of the way. So everything you need in a scientifically proven and tested format to build the health and body of your dreams using one simple formula over and over again. So this, as you might have probably seen in the past, isn't one of those fad diet gimmicks pitches that you've heard before that just gets your hopes up and lets you down and basically makes you realize that, you know, nothing works, because that is what's been pushed out there on social media, on TikTok and Instagram, because that's what's fancy and that's what gets clicks, views, likes, right? That's just what's attractive to everyone else. So it's just being pushed over and over and again, because this is an actual legit strategy for high performance, because I have actually tested this. So what makes this different? There's nothing for sale at the end. So basically, I do the whole coaching thing. I don't know how much people do know about all of this, but this isn't to try and like basically pitch you. This is actually just to give you as much value as possible. And if it's a fit, it's a fit. So we can discuss how that works at the end, but watch through this, because you know what? I'm giving you some incentive, because I genuinely want you to change your life. I want you to get as much value as possible. So say so that free gift at the end. So I do believe in V1. I did also offer the recipes from here. I do have more recipes actually to go through in the new recipe book. So drop me a message, drop me an email if you do get to the end and watch this and you would like the recipes. If that hasn't been sent over to you yet, then basically drop me a reminder. So if it was obviously recently, also I will have my free calorie calculator out by now as well. If you would like access to that, also message me. That is something I've been coding and working on for a while, so I'm quite happy with it. I'm more than happy to give you access. So are you ready to learn how to eat your favorite foods and exercise your way whilst dropping up to the next 30 up to 30 pounds in 90 days? So I'm going to break down the science in just a bit, but this is basically just to get you excited, this slide, because I genuinely think this is really, really good information that you can really get value from. So just a bit about me. I'm a fifth year medical student. I've just finished my fifth year, so I'm a certified personal trainer. I've been training for 8 years. I've been doing this nutrition thing, studying, researching, conferences, lectures, podcasts, everything you can possibly know in terms of papers, research, for a good 6 or 7 years now. This isn't something that I just came out with one day and I'm just going to pretend this is all correct. I've got the research, the knowledge to back all of this, and I'm saying this so you know this is actual information that you can trust, and it's not one of these other influencer things where it's just like, okay, trust me, bro, I promise. No, I've worked with over 150 clients now, actually, one-to-one, and that's something I'm proud of. I don't know if you've seen the testimonies, transformations. We'll go through it in a second, but I put these pictures up because I also was in this situation. This is something I was struggling with for a long time. I was 96 kilos. I was fat. I was overweight. I was just generally unhappy with myself, had horrible confidence. I was the guy at the beach which would cover up wear everything possible, because there's no way I was taking my shirt off when I was fat. And I just couldn't. I just wasn't that confident enough to be able to do it. I do it now. There's all the shoots I've done. I'm sorry if it's a bit cringy, a bit over the top with all the stuff going on, but this is just genuinely proof that it's possible, right? There's nothing I've found over the years that is not possible when you have the right strategies that you can implement, that you can really, really change your life with, right? This is every single one of you has the capability, has the possibility, any starting point. I'm going to run through all the starting points with my clients as well. So, you don't have to fit in a certain box for this to be possible for you. This is for everyone. So, does this method work? Let's get into it. So, Joe over here, Josh from Paris, France, Bertie, Pesh, right? These guys were in completely different situations starting with. I'm going to run through their individual situations first, in a bit actually, but I just wanted to show you them first. So it doesn't matter your starting position. If you were skinny fat to start with, these are Frank, Zach, so Wazan, Jamie. So like I've been doing this for a long time. I obviously can't fit every single one. They've all done incredibly well. I obviously can't fit every single one of them into this into this actual PowerPoint. So all the pictures would just be tiny and like we'd be running through them forever. So Felix, Yanis, Mustafa, so Matthias. So there's actually more actual videos of their testimonials, everything like what they had to say about the in the in on this site here, where you can actually their /free consultation azri.uk. I'll put all the links and stuff in the description below, or if wherever you're watching this, it will be somewhere in the email or anywhere. So if you do want to listen to more about what they had to say, I do believe I'm just about to edit. I just finished up editing and posting Bertie's testimonial, a little video, just a quick edit I wanted to go through. He talks in a fair bit of detail. He's just genuinely nice guy. He's just said a lot. He's obviously done very, very well and had a fair bit to say and recorded a little front-facing video. So that should be up on my page by now if you want to have a look. So here's your problem. Let's get into it. Let's get into bits of it. You're stuck in the old model and don't know about the 3 easy to implement strategies of the new sustainable model. So these are the strategies I'm going to go through, what you will actually learn today. So why you failed in the past and mastering the 80-20 rule of nutrition. So nutrition is the first thing that we are going to cover when we get to it, after we go through, what's actually not been going too well in the past with what you may have done and what you may have thought worked. So second, learning the optimal exercise methods behind your training without draining hours of time. So the actual secret info behind the mindset required to create sustainable change. So this is what you actually need to know. This is where serious change comes from. And I promise you, this is not something that you want to just skip over and think, oh, okay, it's just mindset. I'm just another one of these guys just pushing mindset. You're going to have the mental game and you'll win. Cool. Right. No, that's not what I'm going to go through. I'm going to go through why this actually matters. And there's a bonus secret at the end. You've been brainwashed, healthy and unhealthy food. So just a little thing that you can say to them for. So why you failed in the past. So we're going to go through nutrition 101. So you may have been stuck in this old model where you were just running into crash diets, super restrictive diets where, you start a diet, you restrict yourself, you cut out all the foods that you like. You've deprived yourself of everything that you liked. The cravings actually build up. You give in, right? And then you get guilty about giving in, and then you start again, right? When you get to this stage of building up cravings because you keep cutting out the foods that you like, that's why your diets failed in the past, right? You shouldn't be getting into this restrictive phase where you can't eat something, because how long can you realistically do that for? That's not me like talking down on you. It's just me telling you that it's not the right way. Diets work because there is no restriction, not because, unless you have some crazy Superman willpower. I certainly don't. I don't know many people that have stuck to it. So that's just something I wanted you to know. So if you're impatient and inconsistent in your actions, right, and you're hopping from one diet to the next, that is another thing that crash dieters seem to experience. And it's just some relatable points which I've just found over the time. And if you leave things until the last minute before making a change, that's where crash diets usually fail, is when you cut out entire food groups hoping for a quick fix, and you force yourself to follow some cookie cutter template that doesn't really work for you. So there's so much out there with programs, services, this and this in the past where it's just like them trying to reach the masses with some cookie cutter template where it's just one size fits all. That's not how the human body works. That's not how you work. That's not how what actually works in terms of long-term results. And I promise you, there's no one out there who has sustained some serious results with some one plan, one cookie cutter thing, which is just what they follow for the rest of their life. And I wish that was the case when we'd all just have abs just following someone's little physical little program that they've just pushed out to everyone. So just a little meme for you. Starting my new healthy diet today. Breakfast, 2 almonds. I lick an apple for lunch, and dinner is yelling at a picture of myself, Nick. So if this does relate to you, I'm sorry, but we're gonna teach you what to do. So restriction is not the solution. So a lot of people do ask, like, how do you eat this? How do you eat that? And still keep out, like, stay lean and look like how you want to. I need to remind a lot of people the reason why I look the way I do is because I allow myself all of this, right? This is why I am able to maintain my physique. If I was to tell myself tomorrow, okay, no more chocolate, you're not allowed to have chocolate ever again, and that's what's going to get me lose body fat, I wouldn't be able to maintain that for very long. And I know a lot of people generally can't. So the reasons why diets work is because it's not part of the equation, because people restrict foods they enjoy, find it very, very hard, let's say, to abstain that forever. And at some point they do give in, because when you do repel all the good things in your life, you end up burning out, becoming miserable, and you get into that phase of, cravings building up. You need consistent and predictable results with a proper strategy. So you can go to weddings, parties, social events, travel, business events, everything, and eating your grandma's famous chocolate chip cookies. This isn't stuff that you cut out of your life, right? That's not how diets work. That's why diets have failed in the past, right? So here's what you can expect from the switch into a more sustainable lifestyle: more freedom and flexibility in your nutrition and training, actually being able to enjoy the time with your family and friends instead of being left out and, the person that is just in the corner basically trying to bring their weighing scales to the to the party. Let me count how many macros are in. Let me count how many carbs are in this thing. So no more low confidence or self-esteem issues, and you actually have a system that's doing the heavy lifting for you, right? You shouldn't be having this mental strain. So lifestyle builders, you build a plan around your lifestyle instead of the other way around. The diet should work around you instead of you having to work around the diet. That's exactly how diets fail, and you should be able to enjoy the process and be confident in your nutrition education and be able to really do this, because when you moderate your and know how to actually moderate your nutrition exercise properly, nothing becomes off limits. You can eat, drink, train however you want, 24/7, 365, within the right parameters. So that's exactly what we're going to talk about. So the secret, this is the slide that you've been waiting for. I'm giving you the secret now. Are you ready for this? Calorie balance, where calories are the base of the pyramid. So why I'm saying this is because this just blows all the myths out of the water about what works and what doesn't. Calorie balance is what actually gets you results. Actually having a deficit in calories is what is actually going to help you lose weight. So this completely blows out the myths of, I need to cut out carbs. I need to cut out this, and this, and this, right? The next thing, you need a certain amount of protein to actually get into your actual nutrition, a minimum amount, right? There's more for more than one reason. I'm not going to go into too much detail into this. The 10% that too many people are focusing on, it does play a role, right? But this should be an easy. Sorry, supplementation, right? That is one thing that you can focus on to optimize micronutrients. Another thing, so get enough vegetables. That's it, right? Calories, protein, vegetables, right? To get in your actual vitamins and minerals. Meal timings, meal frequency, everything. You're stressing about this too much if it makes up the 10%, right? And sleep and hormones, this needs to be optimal, yes, but what actually drives fat loss, right, is the base of the pyramid, total caloric intake. And, getting in a minimum amount of protein is ideal, is what you want as well. So we can run through that in a bit more detail, but what I don't want to get into too much is because I do cover it a lot. So I don't want you to let the fitness industry or experts fool you into whatever they're doing, like pushing some sort of diet program, this and this, right? The liver king, right? Some carnivore diet. All of this works because of the base of the pyramid, calories, right? They lose fat, but almost because of this, right? Not because of anything else. Don't let someone with a better physique push something on you because they have a better physique. Bodybuilders aren't the ones that you should be 100% taking their word for because they have a good physique. That's not how it works, right? Especially when people have incentive behind pushing their ideologies on you with nutrition training, right? With their business models, with whatever it is, don't be fooled into the idea of just because someone says something and they say it in an assertive manner and they say this is right, this is correct, I look like this, so believe me, directly or indirectly. That's not what you should be believing. You can't be in a situation where you're like, this person looks great and he said this, so this must be 100% correct. What worked for them may not work for you, right? What they have different ideas about this and this, which they can stick to, great, right? That's perfectly fine. That's perfectly okay. But that doesn't take away from the essentials with the calorie balance, with the protein. That's it. And vegetables. If you know this, then you know everything, right? You don't need to get fooled about by anything else. Social media, TikTok, Instagram, pushing and trying to brainwash you, basically. So because exceptions do not disprove rules. So this is something that I really do want everyone to understand. What worked for someone else might not be for you. Great, some people are doing brilliantly off of whichever diet model that they prefer to stick to. They know why that's working. They know it's because of the caloric intake. They know it's because of protein intake. Everything extra is all fluff, right? That's what they want to do. Let them, right? But don't let them try and prove something else that's not backed by anything but themselves, right? So that's something I wanted to run through. Sustainability is king. So if you can't sustain it, it's a horrible wellness plan. The plan of attack has to make sense for you. So if you can't maintain something, if you look at something and you're like, oh my God, I can probably do this for 6, 8, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, right? But I won't be able to do this for the rest of my life, then you shouldn't even, that's not something you should be considering. If you can't sustain it forever, that isn't something you should even think of considering to start off with. So let's get into it. Here's another big tip. Playing with averages, not tip, right? Actual piece of general advice. So 1800 calories looks different for everyone. So this is just an example. I'm not saying you should be on 1800 calories. You can go through different strategies behind this. This is something that you need to understand. You can have 1800 calories per day, but it's the average that matters, and it's the average that causes sustainable, consistent weight loss. If you prefer more on certain days, let's say you go for 2100, 15, 75, 21, 20, you prefer higher calories on training days, you want more carbs, that's perfectly fine. If you prefer to have more calories on the weekend, you can still consistently lose weight. I have clients doing a completely different number of caloric intakes per day because they prefer it, right? I've set out guidelines, I've set out what I want them to do, but it works for them when I know that they have something going on. We plan for that and we actually make sure that works. And even if it's completely unplanned, you can adjust off of that because we're playing off averages, right? So, for example, I do need to bring up Dave Rosenberg. Basically, I want to bring him up. He's 12.8 kilograms down in 90 days, and just a quick few wins. He's maintained it for a year and counting. He can always updates me. Love a guy. Like, he actually makes sure that he stays up to date with me, and he actually keeps me up to date with how he's doing with his daily life. He still eats out every day. Throughout the whole program, he ate out every single day, and he still does. That means pizzas. He likes pizza. He eats pizza every day, and he still continues progress on a busy schedule. And he's never been to a gym in his life. Everything that he's done has been home workouts. I'm not saying that you can't go to a gym. I'm saying that you don't need to. And the people that are trying to say you have to, then it's not the case, right? I actually recently did just order, just as a little gift, right? I ordered him a pair of dumbbells and some weights just because I thought he'd just like some change in his actual exercise routine, and he keeps up to date, and he's a nice guy. So nutrition myth busted. So you can only eat boring and bland foods to get results. Truth learned, you cannot achieve sustainable results without eating the foods you love or being an absolute robot. Right. So quick question, keto. So just a few little memes. Yep, there's sugar in this. We just want to talk to you about keto. So does keto work? Right. Sure, keto works, right? You can lose some weight, but if the majority of the weight that you're losing is water to begin with, right? Then how sustainable is it, right? If you're when I say water weight, if you're losing a bunch of water weight and a little bit of fat to begin with, and you put the weight back on, how sustainable is that really? Everyone has a fat loss story. You do need to understand this. Everyone's fat loss story is there, right? It's not very unique, right? Everyone has a story of how they lost weight in the past doing keto, but I don't want to hear it. If you put the weight back on, it wasn't sustainable. If whatever conditions came up, whatever it was COVID, right? There was something going on, right? And I was on it, but then I came off for a year, and this and this and this happened. I got injured, this and this, right? I'm sorry, but if you put the weight back on, the strategy that you were going with in the first place was not sustainable. Cutting out entire food groups like carbohydrates isn't necessarily sustainable for the long run. If it works, like if it has worked for you and you've maintained the weight forever, right, and kept it off, great. But 95 to 99% of the people I've talked to, almost everyone, right, has not been in actual keto and actually kept the weight off and sustained it for a long time and actually continued it for the years and years to come, right? I hope they understood that the idea behind it was that they are reducing the amount of junk that they're eating by cutting out all the foods which contain carbs, which are usually higher calorically dense, like everything that they were eating, right? And that's why they managed to lose the weight by cutting it off. But at the end of the day, it's because they were reducing the amount of calories. And I'm not one of these people that says that okay, now I'm a calorie guy, so like you can eat whatever you want and that's it. It just has to fit in the calories, right? You can also have an actual strategy. You can have a lower carbohydrate diet. You can have strategies behind doing keto, that you can have modified versions of it. I'm not saying it doesn't work, right? I'm saying that real keto, sustaining it for a long time, isn't a likely or optimal strategy. So let's get into it. So just so you know, right, I like to just bring up little reminders. We all ate what we wanted, right? We didn't restrict ourselves, and we didn't actually get into a position where we couldn't actually maintain it forever. So exercise, let's get into it. The secret behind exercise is not essential for fat loss, but here's why you should do it anyways. Right, let's get into it. The truth, it is important for health. I believe everyone should be doing some sort of exercise, whatever it is. Give me 3 days a week, right? That's enough, right? You can get it in because it does actually give you a mental boost. It's good for your health, and actually progressing on some sort of exercise is generally just good for you, good for everyone. Good to know that you have targets to work towards, right? Myths, you don't need to spend hours in the gym or do a ridiculous amount of cardio or anything like that. Who has the time, right? I certainly don't. I don't know if you or not, but if it's something that you want to do, if you want to spend time in the gym, great, that's perfectly fine too. The other thing is, we talked about data earlier. You don't have to be training at home or doing. You don't have to be training in the gym. You can do home training, do body weight workouts. You can do a lot. You can progressively overload on a lot, and that is what's important for muscle gain. So you don't have to train at specific times or do some special workouts. The actual optimization of all of this that you may have heard about and you think is a big point that you need to push through is a very, very small percent, which is optimized over the years. If you're starting out, this isn't something that you need to be overthinking and focusing on, because, right, I specifically teach one actual method. So it's the elite anytime system. So maximum progress, battle tested. The nutrition does the heavy lifting, right? It's for anyone at the gym, at home. Muscle, if you're trying to gain muscle, if you're trying to lose fat. If you're injured, we work around that. Listen to Bertie's story as well. Actually, he ran through a bit of that as well. So time no more than 3 times a week, 30 to 45 minutes. So of exercise is actually necessary, and it's schedule specific. So based around your schedule, and I use a simple strategy. So to keep it as simple as possible, don't need any prior experience, nothing like that. But obviously, if you do have it, then that's also great. So this is just something that I actually teach, and I'm not going into too much about it just yet. So cardio, what do I actually have to do? So yes, I have had clients do zero cardio and lose fat the whole time, right? That is also absolutely fine. So just a little picture. I'll have you know, I just finished up pure cardio and I only want to die about 2 times. So that is, you don't have to do a ridiculous amount of cardio or anything like that. Give me steps at a minimum, right? 3 times sessions per week, 3 sessions per week, sorry. And steps are optimal. So you don't have to be hitting 10K like that. It also takes up a lot of time. So, 5, 6K minimum. If you are looking for really what is optimal would be 3 to 4 weight training, resistance training sessions per week with 2 to 3 hit sessions per week. That's what's absolutely optimal, right? And let's say between 5 to 8K steps, right? That's what's absolutely optimal. That's probably what you guys wanted to hear as tangible advice, but it's so individualized and specific to you. It doesn't matter, right? It really has to be what you can make work consistently. Consistency over a period of time is what actually gets you results, right? If you decide you're going to go all out, do something, and you want to do this forever, but you can only maintain it for 2 weeks, or you can't really do it for the rest of the year, kind of thing, right? How are you adjusting to that? Like, how are you going to have like a backup plan or a fallback plan? When you go on holiday, when you go on, let's say you have some meetings or travel, right? When the situations aren't perfectly aligned, when all the stars aren't aligned, you need to know how this actually works so you can actually fall back into a system that works. So this is actually what I teach, and I actually teach about this. That is something that is obviously in a lot more detail, the Elite Anytime method. So only incorporate the things you enjoy doing. Stop the ridiculous routines. You don't need any of these influencer workouts, which are just ridiculous. Some of the stuff I've seen, it's just a bit mad now. So when you enjoy your workouts, you can do them forever. That's the main goal. Enjoy the training. Doesn't have to be the same forever. That's another thing, right? Ideally, progress on certain exercises and keep them in forever, right? But you can always change things up, make it work around different events, occasions. So when you figure this out, you won't be dreading 5 a.m. workouts. You can train however you like. You don't have to worry about it being hardcore, and you don't have to actually worry that you're not going to get the results if you're stuck on knowing actually what exercise to do, how much cardio you want to do, right? This and this, what actually works, then that's a system that we can actually discuss. But I gave you the actual tangible basics around the fundamentals of what you need to know. So Bertie, 43-year-old serial entrepreneur from Canada, 10 kilograms in 90 days. So what did we actually do with Bertie? So he ran through this in the testimony I was just talking about. It's something I edited up for a fair bit. You can see he's done absolutely incredibly well. So we actually built out nutrition and training to work around his lifestyle. It was minimum. He was doing the work. He implemented it, right? But it wasn't something crazy. It wasn't something ridiculous that he couldn't stick to, because he runs multiple businesses. He's building more, and he generally has to save the energy for him to really push into other endeavors in his life, because as much as he made health a priority and as much motivation as he had towards this, he wasn't he wasn't setting this aside to remove every other priority in his life. He still enjoyed his life and enjoyed the foods that he was eating, and he did incredibly well. So we essentially did, it was 3 to 4 training sessions a week in the gym, and nutrition consistently changed actually as he progressed, because obviously what he needed here was not necessarily what he needed halfway into here. So that was consistently changing as well to actually get him here. That was another thing that you do need to remember. What you start off with isn't necessarily what you progress into. Fundamentals are the same that we ran through, but making sure that is adapting to their needs and having the accountability behind it was actually what got him the results, the actual mindset shift. So after you, and one thing I don't like, I've seen a lot, is I mentioned this before, right? You shouldn't need any trainer or program or PT in the gym to actually learn how to do this and do this forever. So stop having everyone hold your hand for you and learn how to fix your own car, basically, and stop paying others to do the same. Get your bachelor degree in nutrition and training, because when you know the actual method that works every time, you can obtain the results whenever and keep it forever, and actually be able to make it as easy as possible for yourself for the long run, so you can do it forever, right? The PTs in the gym, what they're doing is basically holding your hand for an hour for 3 times a week in the gym, and then basically expecting you to figure out the other 70-80% of the nutrition on your own, and then only looking at the 20% of the results also, which is the exercise, right? It's if you're really aiming for fat loss, right, you need to have the right strategies behind nutrition for you, not some template that they've handed you and what worked for them, this is what's going to suddenly work for you. You need to have it adapting and be able to eat the foods that you like, and know what foods to be eating that you can actually stick to for the rest of your life, right? Their whole incentive behind all of this is for you to keep coming back to them. If you knew everything that you need to know, you would never need them again, right? You don't need someone to hold your hand in the gym every time for the accountability purposes if you know how to do it yourself. At a certain point, maybe, right? Maybe you want to get to you've really learned everything and now you're just there genuinely just for the accountability kind of thing. But if you're really starting out, right, you should be able to learn how to do this forever, right? So you really need to take control of your life. So stop listening to what everyone else says and understand what works for you, right? So if someone says jump off the cliff, and it's just a little meme, hashtag jump off the cliff challenge, right? That is something you need to really figure out for yourself right now, and ask yourself, like, how many times have I just done something because someone else has told me to do it, and how many times has that not worked for me now? So that is just a little mean. So number three, an important part, the sustainable mindset. So this is why you lost weight and gained it back. This is something, the yo-yo dieting thing, right? It's not on, right? It shouldn't happen in the first place if you are implementing it the right way. So mistake number one that you made, relying solely on willpower and motivation, right? If you are basically waiting for the perfect time where the motivation is your absolute highest and that's what's going to drive you the results, I'm here to tell you now, motivation is nothing but a spark to get you going. There flickers here and there, right? You're not 100% motivated going into every single day of your life. So if you're relying on this to create sustainable change and sustainable results, then you're setting yourself up for failure. You need science-backed systems. So when when the days aren't perfect, when all the stars aren't aligned, and you're not at your peak, you need to be able to do this forever, right? This isn't something that you can do once and when you're feeling absolutely perfect and you've smashed it out, you've gone to the gym and you've nailed your diet for a week, and then what? Right? If there is nothing to fall back on except motivation, you're setting yourself up for failure. So if you're reaching for the quick fix, right? If you're reaching for keto and that's going to solve your problems, or some supplement or some diet which is going to solve all your problems, that's where you may have gone wrong in the past as well, and that's where you may be heading that way now. Just know that all of these work on a temporary basis, right? If you can push into something, that's great, and you will lose some weight if that's what you need to, just switch up your thought processes behind the learning. All right, cool, right? That's perfectly fine, but just know this isn't what's going to get you sustainable results. What you need is to actually know how this works. So here's the other thing, the actual problem with this is an issue. I don't say this lightly, because after you fail enough times, you lose the belief in losing weight, being the best version of yourself, being confident, being healthy, having the dream body that you dream of is even possible, and you eventually give up. This is why I hate these tactics, these little quick fixes that are going to try and promise you a dream of this thing and don't get you there. It kills me on the inside seeing so many people go into these cycles of just losing weight, putting them back on, losing their weight, and never being able to sustain a healthy lifestyle. It doesn't work, right? So this is what progress actually looks like. So you can expect failure. That's absolutely fine, right? But if there's nothing for you to fall back on, no system to keep progressing after you fail, know how to fall back, and have if there's no level base for you to fall back on, then it's an issue, because you can go from here and you can basically keep falling down, right? This is probably what's happened before, and you're back to square one, or maybe you get some progress further and you're back to square one, because this should be continually progressing throughout your life. Even if it slows down, right, you can get to a point where you can continue progressing. Next thing, fix your beliefs, right? You need to believe it's possible. This is a huge thing. So why do I actually say this? Because, right, this is the thing. If you don't believe you have potential, if you believe you have bad potential to get the results, it's my genetics, it's my hormones, it's like I've tried everything, nothing works, right? Then what you do is you take bad action towards trying anything, right? Or you don't take any action, and you get you get subpar results, and then you lose your belief in it even being possible, right? This is what's probably been going on for a long time for you if you have been trying for a long time. What you need to do is believe that you have the potential to get the results, so you can take good action to get more results, right? And then you have the belief it's possible, and you can continue this cycle of continually improving and progressing. You shouldn't be in a position where you just fall in again and again to a point where this potential is just out of your head and it's just an X in your head, right? So just another thing, another little testimony. So Joe from Paris, France, he was a great guy. So I'm just showing you that it's possible even in the shorter period of time, and you can maintain. He looks very similar to this, so you can maintain it. So he was 6.2 kilograms down in just the first 6 weeks, right? At this point, he wasn't believing that it was possible to completely lose the love handles. He's been stuck with this for years, right? When he really truly believed it was possible, even with multiple business trips. Yeah, he was on so many. He was on like 3 or 4 business trips in those 6 weeks. But I tried to instill the belief that it's possible, when he really followed through and took action. He had 4 different gym and home workout setups, sorry, and he had every excuse to be like, okay, this is a bad time. This is like, I really don't have this. Can't be a priority for me. But he really truly did believe it, and he had different food availability, holidays, everything, right? Every week. So on the trip, he had, so obviously he's not going to have the same access to the same food. We made changes. We made the right changes needed, and he kept progressing off of this physique. So he lost the love handles completely, lost the belly fat. What we did, right? We made sure that the food choices that he could work with worked. So based on off of the fundamentals and based on off of what he had available, that's what we made work. And this is exactly why I try and push the idea of like, it doesn't have to be one thing that you stick to forever. And if I can't stick to these perfect conditions, then it's all a failure, right? There has to be a system to be able for you to continually progress. So just a quick recap, secrets we covered today: eat what you like, still get the results and the truth behind the fad diets and quick fixes. Train in an efficient manner and actually enjoy it. Willpower and motivation will only get you so far. So this is the bonus secret that I really wanted to run through as well, which I've basically covered this, but you may actually really want to know this. So you've been brainwashed. Social media, the food industry, the fitness industry have programmed your mind, but it's not your fault, because this is what you need to know. First things first, there are no good foods and bad foods like they try and push on you, right? There's no like good breakfast where everything is where everything is healthy, right? There's no healthy, unhealthy kind of foods which they try and push out. So just a little idea, just an infographic, a graphic I found from someone on social media who I quite like, the fitness chef. So this is what 1,072 calorie healthy, good breakfast smoothie bowl looks like, right? It has a lot of nutrients in it, great, but also excessive calories and sugar. But social media will tell you this is healthy. This is like the influencer's dream breakfast. This is what looks great. And, because I've seen this person do it on social media, it must be great. And this is apparently a bad breakfast, and you have the foods that you like, that you want to eat, but it's like you're trying to avoid it because it's bad. Apparently, it has 37 grams of protein, 14 carbs, 29 fats. Right? It has moderate calorie sugar, which is great, and probably enough nutrients as well. So just get yourself out the mindset of healthy, unhealthy, good, bad foods, right? And don't look at other people's things and think, oh wow, they are living a great life. This guy has a perfect breakfast. That's why he looks the way he does. Here you go. Here's your idea of a perfect breakfast because it looks pretty on social media, right? Another thing, idolize, demonize, right? A 203 cal Nutella piece of toast, if you're trying to lose weight, may be a better option than your avocado on toast that is being completely fantasized and idolized on social media because every single influencer wants to eat avocado on toast, and that's like the perfect diet for you, right? Next thing is, don't let these shopping food grocery stores adverts fool you into thinking one cereal makes you slim and one makes you fat. They're just marketed differently. If the calorie numbers are very similar, everything, the majority of the thing, yes, this is probably higher in sugar, right? But calorie wise, it's near about the same. And if you want to really go into it and about insulin resistance, this and this, right? If you're trying to lose weight, if you're in a caloric deficit, you're going to lose weight, right? And that should be your main goal when you are trying to lose weight. I'm not talking directly about diabetics who have to go about it a certain way, right? But I'm saying when you are trying to lose weight, your main goal should be trying to, if you're excessively fat, you should be trying to lose the fat. That is what's going to get you healthier. That's what's going to increase your insulin resistance, right? Not necessarily avoiding every single food for a certain period of time and then eating it all and then not understanding why you've lost the weight. Don't fall for the marketing in shops, right? Main thing is keep the results forever, right? This is Frank, done absolutely brilliantly. He was in the skinny fat physique. This is a year after, just saying. So this a year and a half after actually, and he's improved progressively, done well. So I'm telling you, this system works. I'm saying that this is something that you can do forever. The majority of my clients have kept the results, kept improving. He's now a nutritionist, personal trainer. He's done a lot of things, and he's really learning a lot now. And I'm so happy for him, genuinely. And Wazan, so we caught up a bit ago. This is just where he started, right? He was 86 kilos, now 67 point. At this point, he was 67.4. Also, gone into the whole personal trainer space now because he's done so well. He's learned about this. This is what he's interested in now. And this is what I want for you. I want you to become interested in the topic. Learn more, learn everything you possibly can, right? And get the results. Take one step, take the action, right? And then start. That's all you need. That's all he did, start. And he's changed his life. He's fully into boxing now. He's got some fights going on, and he's completely changed his life. At this point, he probably didn't believe it was possible to do all this, right? If you're sitting there thinking this could never be me, right? Here is his starting point. This was his starting point. At this point, he could have had every excuse not to start doing something. He could have said this isn't the right time. He could have said, like, I have a lot going on. He was studying for a bunch of things. He was working full time. He could have said, this isn't for me right now. This is probably not the right time, right? Oh, I need to think about it a little more. He didn't. He just took action, and that's why he's gotten such great results, and he's kept improving, right? Zach also continuously improving. He's really gotten into his compound lifts recently. He's done absolutely well during the process here. So he dropped 10 kilos in 8 weeks, in the first 8 weeks, and this is a year and a bit after, I believe. And then this is like a year. This is a screenshot from a video of him deadlifting, I believe, a year and a quarter or a year and a half after. So he's continuously progressing. Main thing is he hasn't bounced back, right? He hasn't gone back to his old ways. He's done some serious training. He was doing this while he was working full time, like 14, 16 hours a day. Didn't have time to do this, right? But you know what? He wasn't like, okay, now this is probably going to be too hard for me, or this and this, right? He made it a priority and he started. And that's the main thing. And this is what I want for you. I want you to understand that health goes into every single area of your life. You become more confident. Health is wealth. You've heard it so many times, but you need to understand, right? Your energy levels go up. You feel better. You can perform better at work. Your businesses improve at a faster rate, right? Your relationships around people like if you are trying to get into a relationship, if this is what you need to increase your confidence, to talk to more people, be confident around the people you're around, if you want people to actually respect you for what the thing that you can't buy, your physique, this is something that's earned, right? No one can tell you you can't, you don't deserve this. Everything else, right, you can say this person has just paid for this and this is why he's here and here and here. No one has less respect for you for having a better physique, right? I promise you, every single area of my life changed. I know it has for so many other people. No one is going to tell you that you're worse off because you have a better physique, right? This is something that you have to understand. I'm not saying it from the superficial point of view for others. You do it for you, right? But you need to understand also that this also affects other areas of your life, and it's something that can motivate you and keep you progressing. So what I want you to do is to stop trying everything and focus in, zero in on one method, implement a fail-proof system, and create the dream lifestyle. I want to give you the actual step ladder to success right now. How am I going to do this? Right, so you have a choice to make right now. This is something that I do only really offer a few people, and I believe this is a right fit. This is basically, so you have option one, right? You can back to living your usual life right now and back to being stuck with a desire to do this, but no clarity on how to actually make lasting change. You can say, thanks, Azri, but I think I'd like to go back to not losing weight and not knowing how to change my habits. I hope this has helped you, but if you want to try and figure this out on your own, then great, you have my best wishes. Go for it, right? But there's nothing wrong with that. There is another option though. Like you can actually make this a defining moment. You can say, I've had enough. I'm sick of not losing weight. I'm sick of constantly starting over and over, not getting anywhere, and it's time to win. Because the truth is, you ultimately control the things you do, and you can now have the option of being the next testimonial and taking control of your life like my clients did. Because you can say, I want to do this because you've done it for yourself and others, and I want you to do this for me too, because there is this system that I've been talking about, which is more directly targeted to you and specific to what you actually need, because that is what you need: the accountability behind the support, the right things to do, and exactly what works for you with the support and guidance. So I don't want you to say this is just another moment where you just learn something, walk away, and then never really take action on anything. So whatever you do, take action on everything, right? This is something that's changed my life, taking action on every single piece of information I've had, learning more and more, right? I want you to actually empower yourself. And it's my duty to basically put this in front of you. I'm Azri the coach. I created Elite Health University and Women's Elite Health and a few of things right now as well. And I want to teach you exactly how this works. So if you want proven results, I have something very special for you. So it's an offer. It's your choice to take advantage of this or not. But as I mentioned, it is my duty to present this as someone who has the knowledge and information and knows that you can actually seriously change your life. So your golden opportunity. So I've actually set aside some time to actually talk to you and discuss on a call around 45 minutes and map out an action plan. It doesn't have to be a video call, whatever call, and basically to help you reach your goal, fix your habits, and use all the proven systems to actually accelerate, amplify, and sustain your results forever. So no more yo-yo dicing, no more going back and forth, knowing exactly what to do, how to eat, how to train. Actually make sure this is something that you take action on, have the guidance support from myself to seriously get this result. So if you want to build this out hands-on together, and I can help you get the results. So I'm quite selective on who I work with, and that's because I have limited spaces and I really only truly want to work. I'm at a position now, I have done well in enough areas of my life where I can say, this is who I want to work with. And if I invite you to become a client, then that would be, absolutely brilliant. If I really feel like I can change your life, that would be something that I'd be so happy to do. But obviously it's not guaranteed, but obviously no pressure to take the offer if it's presented to you. But the actual main thing is, I want to give you some strategies to seriously get some results regardless of your decision. And it could be the actual call that changes your life and this entire year. So, right, you have to be committed to change, right? You have to be able to invest time, energy, and resources to actually change, to master your nutrition, reprogram your identity, learn how to train, exercise, And, my systems do but work best if you want to lose 10, 20, 30 pounds, if you want to build muscle. And if you don't want to stay the same, if you want to stay the same, then, it's, where I'm at with all of this. So it works for those who have very little free time and you want a sustainable approach that you can actually enjoy and work around your lifestyle. And if you want to see some results within the first few weeks, some quick wins, some stuff to really kick you in gear, if you have something that you need, that spark of motivation I was talking about, this is something that you can see results in the first few weeks as well, but also maintain for the rest of your life and keep improving on. So if you want the proven path and you want you want to actually know the blueprint behind it and get fast, incredible results, this is for you, right? If we work together, we'd actually go through this on how we can actually build you out a personalized transformation plan. Because it is very, very hard to go through every single thing in a single lecture, especially what's custom to you. So if you're someone I can really know I can help, we'll actually really, really run through this properly. And if you're not, then absolutely fine. I'm trying to give you some ideas, clarity on exactly, what could work for you, some strategies anyways. And if you want to actually improve on your health and fitness, then that is something I can, actually give you some ideas about. So obviously I say this a lot, right? I don't get much fulfillment from a lot except seeing people's lives change, client results or transformations. It's what I'm in it for, right? I run my businesses and they don't well. So like I'm not in a position where this is just about me trying to just hand you something and then expecting it to work for you because of the sake of me being able to take on as many clients as possible and this, right? This is about me trying to actually change your life. This is about actually getting you some serious results. So what will it cost on your own? So it's a lot of your time, basically. I've spent a lot of years researching, trying everything, trying to do this. If you want the time, if you want the time back, and if you actually want to get the results instead of trying to figure out all of yourself and going through the whole trial and error process, running out of energy, then this is for you, because I have actually tried to streamline all of this and simplify it into my systems so you can have an easy route. So here's what you can do. So there's a few options. Drop me a message on Instagram at azri.zakariya with video complete, I'm ready, or something that just lets me know that you've come from the video really. So I know you've watched all of this, and we'll discuss availability and schedule a call. So or you can schedule a call. So it's in my link below, or drop me an email with video complete or something around there. So this is my personal email. I'm only putting this out there because I know you've watched the video and you've taken the time out of your day to actually go through all of this if you've gotten this far. And just drop me or wherever you would like me to actually be able to directly message you back and forth. Or if it's just over email, then let me know. So I do really, really want to help you with this. If you are coming from Instagram, ideally that is that is actually where it would be easiest for me to get back to you and get you scheduled in quickly. But absolutely, email is fine, or that would be perfectly fine with me, to be honest. And if you want to check out more of my client results, testimonials, transformations, have a look through my Instagram page, Elite Health University. If you slide into those, you can hear their stories and testimonials and what they had to say. There will be more up, and also on this site here, there will also be up where you can also schedule a call. This is the website link. All these links should be down below in the description or wherever you're seeing this, just below or above, or in the email sent to you. So basically, please do listen to their stories and please do listen to what they have to say, because this is genuinely what I'm most proud of, how I've been able to help people. It's on this account. It's the link in my bio on my Instagram at azri.zakariya. And I really, really, truly hope you found this valuable. And just some closing remarks. It's easy to use willpower to get started and feel good, but to actually keep the momentum going is hard, right? This is the main thing that I've just found to be a staple of transformations in the past. Willpower and motivation only gets you so far, because you need to know how to create a new identity, stack your habits, create flexibility around your nutrition, and actually balance workouts for sustainable results. So that has been me. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Azri. So if you just generally have any questions or anything like that, drop me a message on Instagram. If you just want some more info or just want a few little tips or a bit of advice from me, just drop me a message with tips, I guess, on Instagram at Azri.Zakariya or anywhere else, and or drop me an email, and I'll be more than happy to help. But if you really do want to work on this one-to-one, then absolutely fine. That'll be great. If there is anything else that I can help with, do let me know, and there should be all the links below for you to see or in the email. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have found this very useful.